Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Jordan on a Cephalid Breakfast build versus John on Stoneblade. Blade going to be the control deck here with all sorts of answers, whereas Cephalid Breakfast, while it does have control elements, is at its core a combo deck and a goofy one at that. Nomad and Core along with Cephalid Illusionist, or perhaps Shuko along with Cephalid Illusionist, to mill itself until it hits Narcomoebas, to allow for the flashback of Dread return, bringing back Thassa's Oracle. It's a long way to go, but it's pretty strong when it comes together. We had a Cabal Therapy fired off. Looks like it hit a Force of Will. And now Aether Vial. Cabal Therapy in there, so when you're milling through your library, sacrifice those extra Narcomoebas to shred your opponent's hand of any Force of Will or Force of Negation. Admittedly, it was a much more foolproof plan back before the advent of so many quality counters. Now we've got Force of Negation as well as Force of Will. As far as free pitch counters, even if your opponent's tapped out, and if they have mana open, you could be looking at Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Stifle, Dress Down. I mean, there's so many different responses that you could potentially have to deal with. But Cabal Therapy, the first one at least, will hopefully give you an idea of what you're going to need to play around. On the other side of the board here, John with the new Esper Sentinel and Urza's Saga. And now the Stoneforge Mystic. There's actually playing the promo art, the original Worldwake art, up on screen, but both players now with Stoneforge Mystic. Jordan grabbing Shuko with his. John's got to know that means either there's a beefy piece of equipment in hand or the combo is going to be incoming, and here is the combo. Uncounterable on the Cephalid side. Thanks to the Aether Vial, that Shuko had to be countered. Apparently John didn't have the ability to stop it. And the Cephalid just going to get targeted over and over again by the Shuko. You do not need another creature to equip to. You can just keep equipping to the currently equipped creature. Go through the entire library. That other ability occasionally comes up, a little bit more now, with Tarmogoyf being a card that sees occasional play. Any type of beefy creature on the ground. Right now, it seems like the beef is being brought primarily by Murktide region. Cards like Gurmag Angler, much less exciting when they get so easily dwarfed by the 2 blue creature. So strong. Technically, 7 mana, but you're always paying 2 for him for the most part. Gets bigger with more company. Shuko, by the way, in case you were wondering what it does, also gives +1/+0, which is not totally without consequence. Occasionally you can toss that on a Batter Skull or Cauldron Complete. Get the extra power on board because of it. A Nomads getting exiled by Prismatic Ending, which is a legit problem versus Cephalid Breakfast. It's a very strong card, particularly because it's an excellent answer to Aether Vial. Aether Vial, a card that can essentially just make your full combo pretty much uncounterable, very difficult to interact with. You really only need to get down a Nomads and a Cephalid in order to win the game. Aether Vial ticks up 1 and then 2. Super easy. Many games where it just comes together just like you draw it up. Of a draw go situation here. Urza's Saga, not the best card draw. That's gonna go away if John doesn't find another land. Oh wow. Never mind. He's just got a fistful of lands. This is a disaster. The Stoneforge Mystic off the top, about as much as he could hope for. This will at least set a clock and force Jordan to do something within the next 3 turns. Shadow Spear can get picked up by this Cauldron Complete token. Start attacking on the very next turn. That's the nice thing about Cauldron Complete. That haste really does try and close games out, but I would probably rather be on Jordan's side of the table here. 3 turns with nothing on the other side to contend with. It's probably this Urza's Saga is the thing that I'm the most concerned about. If he still has his Soul Guide Lantern, hopefully he does. For his sake, that's going to prevent the Dread Return from functioning. Oh no, and he's actually grabbing Retrofitter Foundry. Does he not have a Soul Guide Lantern? Very interesting. So Soul Guide Lantern could exile Jordan's graveyard, eliminating that reanimation strategy. Instead, John looking to pile on as much pressure as possible with the Retrofitter Foundry. This is not good. That Cauldra getting in there. Shuko joining the fun. Unusual sequencing there, perhaps playing around days. Brainstorm being vulnerable to days, whereas the Shuko wasn't. Tapping out for the Brainstorm. Kind of indicates that Jordan's looking for a land. There's not a ton of reason for him to Brainstorm main phase. Force of Will. Oh, pitching the Wizard Cycling Step Through, I believe it is. But it looks like he's already got the Cephalid in hand. John's going to need instant speed interaction right now. Nope, it is just land still, so that is going to do it. Cephalid shows up, uncounterable thanks to Cavern, but John didn't even have the counterspell at that point. Pyroblast would have been an excellent option there. Killing the Cephalid. Very difficult to deal with that. Mother of Runes in my current list, but I believe Jordan has actually moved away from the Mother of Runes. And there we go, talking about some sideboarding choices. But Cephalid Breakfast showing some power here in the ELD Legacy Open.